Taylor Swift expected to save the WNBA? Caitlin Clark just had a private conversation with Taylor Swift at the Chiefs game, and WNBA fans are losing it. The two superstars were spotted chatting in a VIP suite, sparking speculation about what this could mean for women's basketball. Could Swift bring her global influence to the WNBA? ESPN's Elle Duncan believes just one Swift appearance at a game could be a game changer for the league. But will it actually happen? Let's break it down. Taylor Swift's presence at Chiefs games has already transformed the NFL, bringing in millions of new viewers and skyrocketing jersey sales for Travis Kelce. Now, WNBA fans are wondering, could she do the same for women's basketball? Over the weekend, Swift and Caitlin Clark were seen having a private conversation during the Chiefs' playoff win over the Texans. While no details of their discussion have been revealed, the viral moment has fueled speculation that Swift could attend a WNBA game in the future. Clark, a lifelong Swiftie and longtime Chiefs fan, seemed right at home in the suite. But fans couldn't help but wonder, was this just a casual chat? Or could Swift's influence finally give women's basketball the exposure it deserves? One thing is certain, if Swift shows up courtside for a WNBA game, it would be a massive moment for the league. Elle Duncan put it best. The same way she was able to bring so much attention to the NFL, we could really use a Taylor Swift bump in the women's sports space. With Clark leading the new wave of WNBA stars, the league is already growing fast. But with Swift's backing, it could reach an entirely new level. The question is, will Taylor Swift make her way to an Indiana Fever game? Or is this just wishful thinking? Unrivaled's viewership numbers expose Angel Reese's bold claim. Unrivaled made history in its debut, pulling in record numbers for women's basketball on TNT and True TV. But there's just one problem. Those numbers weren't even close to what Caitlin Clark and the WNBA are drawing. Clark's Indiana Fever games averaged 1.18 million viewers last season, nearly 4 times the peak of Unrivaled's debut. And that raises a big question. Was Angel Reese wrong when she claimed the rise of women's basketball isn't just about Caitlin Clark? Let's break down the numbers and see what they really tell us. Unrivaled tipped off its first official slate of games with plenty of excitement. The brand new 3-on-3 league, co-founded by Brianna Stewart and Nafisa Collier, delivered fast-paced action and saw a peak of 364,000 viewers. For a brand new league, those are solid numbers. But compared to the WNBA, it's not even close. Last season, nationally televised WNBA games averaged 657,000 viewers, nearly double Unrivaled's peak. And when it comes to Caitlin Clark, her Fever games averaged a staggering 1.18 million viewers. This is where Angel Reese's past comments come into play. Last year, she pushed back against the idea that Caitlin Clark was the reason for women's basketball's rise, saying, "People are talking about women's basketball, not just because of one person, it's because of me too." But when you look at the viewership numbers, Clark's impact is undeniable. Unrivaled's president Alex Bazell insists they aren't trying to compete with the WNBA right away. But even in its first season, Clark's influence has already changed the game, driving record-breaking viewership and attendance. So, what does this mean for Angel Reese's claim? Women's basketball is growing as a whole, but these numbers paint a clear picture. Clark's presence isn't just a factor, it's the driving force. The question is, can Unrivaled Patrick Mahomes break silence about Caitlin Clark at Chiefs game? Caitlin Clark just made her biggest off-court move yet, showing up at Arrowhead Stadium alongside Taylor Swift for the Chiefs playoff game. But here's the kicker, Patrick Mahomes had something to say about it. When asked about Clark stealing the spotlight, Mahomes didn't hold back. His response? It's awesome. But that wasn't all. He revealed just how much he respects Clark and why she's a role model for his own daughter. So what does this mean for Clark's growing stardom? And how did her appearance send social media into a frenzy? Let's break it all down. The Kansas City Chiefs' divisional round win over the Houston Texans had it all. Intensity, controversial calls, and a star-studded guest list. But one name stood out: Caitlin Clark. The Indiana Fever star was spotted in a private suite with none other than Taylor Swift, finally accepting a personal invitation from the pop icon to watch a Chiefs home game. For Clark, a lifelong Chiefs fan, this was her first game of the season, thanks to her packed WNBA schedule. As soon as she arrived, social media exploded. Photos and videos of Clark and Swift at Arrowhead went viral, proving once again that Clark's influence extends far beyond basketball. Then came the moment everyone was waiting for, Patrick Mahomes' reaction. When asked about Clark's presence at the game, Mahomes had nothing but respect. Watching Caitlin play at Iowa and then meeting her, she's a tremendous athlete and a tremendous role model for my daughter, he said. She's been at the forefront of women's basketball. Glad she's a Chiefs fan. A future Hall of Fame quarterback calling Clark a role model for the next generation? That speaks volumes. Clark's impact is growing every day, but the question remains, just how much bigger can she get? If Mahomes and Swift are taking notice, the answer might be bigger than anyone imagined. Caitlin Clark's teammate drops free agency bombshell, is leaving the Fever. Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever teammate just dropped a bombshell about her future, and fans are scrambling to figure out what it means. Erica Wheeler, the veteran guard who's been a key mentor for Clark, took to social media with a cryptic free agency message. "I'ma drop some hints, but I'ma be real petty about it. My agent sent me a list for free agency." So, is Wheeler officially out, and what does this mean for Clark and the Fever's future? Let's break it all down. Erica Wheeler has been a fixture in the WNBA for over a decade, spending most of her career with the Indiana Fever. But after 2 seasons on her current deal, she might be looking for a fresh start. Her social media posts set off alarm bells, especially considering how her role with the Fever has changed. Despite starting every game last season, Clark's arrival and Lexi Hull's increasing impact seemed to have shifted Wheeler's place in the lineup. This wasn't always the case. Just months ago, Wheeler downplayed any talk of free agency, saying she just wanted to focus on her family and take a break. But now, things have clearly changed. Her latest message suggests she's exploring her options, and with her contract ending, a move could be coming soon. If Wheeler leaves, it would be a major shift for the Fever, not just on the court, but in the locker room. Clark has repeatedly praised Wheeler's leadership, calling her incredibly supportive and a rock throughout her rookie season. But with the Fever looking to build around Clark and Boston for the future, is this the end of the road for Wheeler in Indiana? One thing's for sure, her next move could shake up the WNBA in a big way. Aliyah Boston breaks silence on Caitlin Clark's scary stalking incident. Caitlin Clark's rise to stardom has come with its dangers, but no one expected this. A shocking stalking incident put her safety at serious risk, and now her teammate Aliyah Boston is speaking out. "It was super scary," Boston admitted, calling for better protection for WNBA players. But this isn't just about Clark, this is about every female athlete facing threats just for doing their job. The Indiana Fever and the unrivaled league are taking action, but is it enough? And how does this impact the chemistry between Clark and Boston on the court? Stay locked in, because what Boston said about their future together might surprise you. Caitlin Clark is one of the biggest names in basketball, but that fame comes with a dark side. Recently, she was the victim of a stalking incident that left fans and players deeply concerned. Aliyah Boston, her Indiana Fever teammate, didn't hold back when discussing the situation on In Case You Missed It with Christina Williams. "It was super scary," Boston said. "People just try to find ways to keep talking, and sometimes it reaches a dangerous level, like it did with Caitlin. The situation forced immediate action from the Indiana Fever and the Unrivaled League. Both organizations have now ramped up security measures, ensuring players feel protected both on and off the court. The Fever and Unrivaled have taken precautions to make sure we're all safe. If you have any problems, you can reach out, Boston reassured. But she also made it clear, athletes need to stay alert. You want to live your everyday life, but you have to keep an eye on what's happening. Don't be afraid to say, "Hey, someone said something weird to me." For players constantly in the spotlight, striking a balance between normalcy and vigilance is a daily challenge. Despite these challenges, Clark and Boston are proving that nothing can stop them on the court. Their chemistry has taken the Indiana Fever to new heights, delivering unforgettable performances, including Clark's record-breaking 19-assist game against the Dallas Wings. Boston is confident about their future. "I feel like there's no ceiling when it comes to us and the Fever franchise." But with Clark's safety now a major concern, will the WNBA do more to protect its biggest stars? Or will incidents like this continue to cast a shadow over the game? One thing's for sure, Boston and Clark aren't slowing down anytime soon. Angel Reese silenced on Caitlin Clark's birthday. Flau'jae Johnson shows love. Caitlin Clark turned 23 and the basketball world celebrated. WNBA and NCAA stars flooded her with birthday wishes, but one name was noticeably silent, Angel Reese. Her former LSU teammate Flau'jae Johnson had no problem showing love, publicly calling Clark a star and praising her impact on women's basketball. But Reese? Nothing. Fans are now asking, was this an intentional snub or just a coincidence? And while the internet debated, Clark stayed true to herself, turning her birthday into something bigger than basketball. Let's break it all down. Caitlin Clark's birthday wasn't just another day. It was a moment that showed how big her influence has become. She received an outpouring of support from across the sports world. One of the most surprising shout-outs came from Flau'jae Johnson, Angel Reese's former LSU teammate. Johnson has always been vocal about Clark's impact on the game, saying, "Say what you want, she's a star. America has gravitated to her, and it's only putting women's basketball up more and more." But while Johnson celebrated Clark, Reese stayed silent. Given their heated on-court battles, fans couldn't help but notice the absence of a birthday message. However, Reese has always been clear about where she stands with Clark. "We're not best friends by any means, but we're very respectful of one another," she's said before. Regardless of the silence, Clark didn't dwell on it. Instead, she took her birthday as an opportunity to give back. Through her foundation, Clark partnered with Scholastic's National Literacy Program to donate 22,000 books to under-resourced schools in Iowa and Indiana. Her impact continues to go beyond basketball, proving that her influence isn't just about records or rivalries, it's about making a real difference. But with Reese's silence fueling more debate, the question remains, was it just a simple oversight, or does this rivalry still run deeper than we think? ESPN's Mad Dog Russo forced to apologize after trashing Caitlin Clark. Chris Mad Dog. Russo just got caught in another bad take, and this time, it was about Caitlin Clark. Russo went on a rant, mocking Clark's fandom of the Kansas City Chiefs, claiming he had never seen her support the team. But then, Dan Patrick hit him with the receipts, a childhood photo of Clark in a Chiefs jersey. So, did Mad Dog admit he was wrong? Well, sort of. Let's break it down. Chris Russo has never been shy about his opinions, but this time he might have spoken too soon. On his SiriusXM show, Russo went off about Caitlin Clark's appearance at the Chiefs playoff game, saying, "Now all of a sudden she's a huge Chiefs fan? Oh, come on." But during his appearance on the Dan Patrick Show, things took a turn. Patrick wasted no time setting the record straight, reminding Russo that Clark has always been vocal about her Chiefs fandom. Then came the moment that shut Mad Dog down for good. Patrick pulled up a photo of a young Caitlin Clark in a Chiefs jersey, proving she's been a fan since childhood. Caught off guard, Russo had no choice but to backtrack. Did he fully admit defeat? Not exactly. Instead, he sarcastically fired back. "What is she, Hankstram now? I guess. I shouldn't be picking on Caitlin Clark. I'm chiefed out." A half-hearted apology at best, but the damage was done. Clark remains very much a part of Chiefs Kingdom, whether Russo likes it or not. The question is, will he ever learn to think before he rants? Or is this just another classic Mad Dog meltdown?